Minecraft is currently the world's #1 selling video game, selling over 200 million copies worldwide over multiple platforms. It boasts a staggering 127 million active monthly users as of this video. When Minecraft was released for Pocket Edition, it quickly became my favorite video game. Now that it's released for Bedrock Edition across multiple platforms and we can have Realm servers and different cross-platform play, it is currently my favorite video game and the only one that I play consistently. Over the last decade or so, Mojang Studios has been consistently updating the game, bringing forth new features such as the Drowned with the Aquatic update and the new Pillagers with the Pillage and Village update. And while I admire the Mojang team for pulling out constant updates and new features, they are constantly missing bugs and long-standing issues that don't get addressed and don't get fixed and ruin the playability of the game. Which leads me to the point of this video is my top 5 annoyances and long-standing bugs that I've seen over my years of playing this game. Before we start, I wanted to make a quick disclaimer that most of these bugs are specific to the Bedrock version of the game and more specifically to players on Realm servers, which Mojang owns and maintains. Let's start with number 5, which is an easy one. While this isn't a long-standing bug, I haven't seen it addressed in any of the betas, which there's been 3 or 4 since the 1.16 update, and it is treasure maps. Currently on Realms, every treasure map that you find, no matter where it is on the server, whether you're 100 blocks from spawn or 10,000 blocks out, they all lead to the same exact treasure map. So if you're on a multiplayer server like me, and we play with, 20 or 30 different people, every treasure map that everyone finds leads to the same treasure map. So for our entire server of 20 to 30 people, we have exactly one conduit. I don't think I need to dive into the specifics of why this particular issue is frustrating. Even on a single player world, this would be unacceptable, let alone a multiplayer world with multiple people playing at a time. Coming at number 4 is what I like to call the Alex skin bug. This is another bug that hasn't been around for very long. It's 1.16 specific, but so far I haven't seen it addressed, and that's why I'm adding it here. This bug causes your skin to constantly revert to the default Alex skin. I don't know why it does this, but it seems like every time I log in from my computer or my phone, switch devices, or try to make edits to my skin or my cape or any sort of custom features of skins, it will default your skin back to Alex, causing you to go through a plethora of menus to try to find your imported skin that you wanted in the first place. Again, this isn't one of the long-standing bugs and one of the huge bugs, but it is a great example of how when they come out with these new features like the 1.16, all the features of the Nether and the new skin emotes and different things you can do with your skin and customizing, there's just a huge bug like this that just gets overlooked, and it really makes all those features that they came up with useless, and it really leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And now we'll move on to more of the major issues that have been long-standing and incredibly frustrating and really ruin the overall experience of the game for everyone. Number 3 is what I like to call the Alt-Tab issue. This isn't found in the Java edition and is one of the reasons why I find it so incredibly frustrating that it hasn't been addressed. For anyone who has played Minecraft Bedrock Edition on Windows 10, you will know that if you try to Alt-Tab for any reason, whether it is to check your OBS for your stream settings, or to check a browser for something, to look up the wiki, for example, or to look at a picture of a build that you're building in Minecraft, if you are playing in the full screen version of the game, which is the default by the way, you will end up getting kicked from your server. The only workaround I've been able to implement so far to actually make the game playable this way is to play the game in windowed mode, which actually ruins the aspect ratio of your game. So if you're a content creator or you just like to play in full screen mode, this actually ruins the aspect ratio of your videos, so you'll constantly get either black bars on the top and bottom of your screen or the sides will get cut off. Otherwise, you have to use a custom resolution that's not 16:9 or whatever resolution your monitor is in the way that you're used to recording. And to really add salt to this wound, on top of these fixes, even if you do all that, whatever you can to fix this issue, if you decide to even AFK for a couple minutes on your realm, the server will end up kicking you anyways. And while I don't really AFK at all for any specific reason other than just switching windows to check my recording or to edit something a little bit and come back, it's frustrating to constantly keep getting kicked from the server. Moving on to number 2, this is what I like to call realm lag, and I think anyone that's played on Realms knows what I'm talking about. Under the cover of realm lag is many things like redstone timings not working, being unable to fly with elytra because the world won't generate fast enough. But the main thing about this that is frustrating and that is consistently frustrating over the years has been the block lag. This is when you are mining and you mine a block and it decides to reappear after you already mined it, causing you to mine it twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times if the server is being really picky, which it is a lot of the time. I will give credit to Mojang for at least addressing this one and from what I understand, they have at least attempted to fix it, with the exception of if you have an Unbreaking 3 enchantment on your pick. It seems that if you have the Unbreaking enchant, it will still give you the block lag and blocks will still reappear. So currently you have the decision to make. Do you want Unbreaking on your gear, or do you want to be able to mine blocks? And now we finally made it to the #1 issue plaguing Minecraft at the moment, and that is, of course, rollbacks. This issue has been plaguing Minecraft Realms ever since Realms became a thing. It is incredibly frustrating to pay for a service, especially paying for a monthly service that's from the developer of the game themselves, and it still hasn't been addressed or fixed. In fact, this issue has become so severe over the years that we have a dedicated channel called Realm Health, where we just constantly ask, hey, did you get kicked? Was there a rollback? And we actually get excited when the server crashes and there wasn't a rollback. So let me say that again. We get excited when the server crashes and there's no rollback, because most of the time the server crashes, there's at least a 15-minute rollback, with the most severe one being about an hour. Now close your eyes and imagine this for a second. Seriously, no peeking. Picture the most beautiful beach in the world. In fact, over 200 million people recommend this place and say it's the best beach in the world. Now, in order to go to this beach, you have to pay anywhere from $20 to $30. And that's not just for you. Every person in your party that wants to go to this beach and visit has to pay at least $20 to $30 in order to have access to this beach. Now, upon arriving to this beach, you realize that you have to pay an additional $7 a month in order to play with the friends who already paid for the game and that you want to play with. So you guys just go ahead and pay it, because why not? It's just $7 a month, and now we can play with our friends. Fast forward maybe an hour or so, you guys are just sitting around relaxing, and you guys decide you want to build a sandcastle. So you guys stop what you're doing, stop relaxing, you put your joy and compassion, you put your absolute love and joy into this sandcastle, you make it perfect. You spend your time sanding out the edges, getting the right consistency of sand, running back and forth to the water to get a bucket of water to wet your sand, to keep it from drying out. You dig these massive holes, you do all this backbreaking work just to build this beautiful sandcastle, and then some security guard at the place that's being paid for by the resort comes over and just knocks over your sandcastle and says, too bad, start over, and just walks away without addressing the issue at all. This is essentially what Mojang Studios is doing to those that pay for Realm service. I'm not talking about having to pay for Minecraft itself, because obviously it's a game and you need to pay for it up front. That's not the issue here. The issue is paying for an extra service like Realms, which really does have a lack of features versus a dedicated server. There is a lack of back-end features for admins to be able to control certain aspects of the game, to catch cheaters, to do some admin work of, chunk pruning, and just there's a lot of different things that it really doesn't have. It's a very, very basic version of multiplayer. And while I'm not here to just bag on the Realms platform as a whole, I'm really here just to complain about the main issues that really are underlying large issues that make the game unplayable, like this rollback issue. Because spending hours of your life on a project that you're really dedicated to, that you're really passionate about, and then it just gets wiped away, and on top of that, you have to deal with the lag of getting your materials back, of building this thing again. It just becomes incredibly, incredibly frustrating. To really exaggerate this issue, Mojang refuses to address it and only will say things like, well, you're playing on a multiplayer server with lots of other people, there's going to be lag. You're playing with unsupported or older devices, there's going to be some lag. I understand those sort of issues, and I've seen that Mojang has taken a step as far as stopping the support of older devices, and I really do think that that is going to help the lag situation and rollback situation going forward. However, I am severely holding my reservations for this because of the history that Mojang Studios has with the refusal to addressing this issue. So while I do see them making steps, and I would call them baby steps because these are the absolute minimum that they should do, that's exactly what they're doing, and there is zero transparency with, hey, I hear you on this issue, I understand it's frustrating, we're going to do everything we can to help this. But that's not the response I see at all. Although I know everyone that has played Realms has had this issue, I have not come across one person that has played Realms that has said, oh man, I've never had a rollback or I've never had block lag, because those are the two things just absolutely plaguing this system, and they really do need to be addressed. All right, and that's it. That's my venting for the day. So I really hope you guys don't think I'm just sitting here like wanting to spit hate at Mojang, because that's really not what I'm doing. I really do enjoy this game. I love the people at Mojang, but my one constant thing for them is just be transparent with us, because on the surface it looks like you're doing absolutely nothing, because on the playability level of the game nothing is changing for us. We're still getting rollbacks and they're getting worse. We're getting block lag and it's getting worse. And there's no response from Mojang when we ask about this or we complain about it over the last couple of years. It's just incredibly frustrating. All we see on the surface is, oh, now you have bees. Now you have a new nether. Now you have drowns with tridents. Now you have new mobs coming at you from the sky. Like, we understand that there's these new features coming out, and we love these new features. We love exploring the new aspects, all this stuff. But the underlying issues of the game are causing the game to be very, very unplayable. And all these new features are doing is just adding more frustration, because it's adding more variables to the mix and causing these issues to become more and more apparent. And it really needs to be worked on. So I love you guys at Mojang. I love you guys for watching this video. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know in the comments. Let me know what issues are plaguing you. What are your most frustrating issues of this game? What could Mojang do to make this better? Do you think there's a situation that they can resolve that will make us all, a community, just happy with Minecraft as a whole? So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.